ever noticed birds starting to chirp and wake up in the morning? It's because they don't store fat, and it's time for them to start hydrating and finding sources of nutrients and calories. They burn off all of their fat overnight, and it's time to part of their automatic to either, depending on the bird, find insects, nectar, berries, seeds, and that's part of the routine. You hear all of the fledglings, the little babies. That's like a part of their automatic clock. It has really nothing to do with because humans aren't out yet or anything like that. I used to think it was that, like, because it was their prime timing. It's part of their automatic. They normally have their breakfast, at sunrise, and then a little before sunset they'll have their last meal to stay warm overnight. Birds, they do this thing called fluffing, and that helps them stay warm. And if you see them like kind of bulk up all their feathers, and in the winter they create this suet fat. Some of them do, where it's like this hard fatty tissue, and it helps them maintain their warmth over the winter. And especially now, since we're changing seasons, it's important not to cut the dead trees, because that becomes homes for these birds when they're, whether they're in their migrating point or they're here for the winter. It's super, super important. Don't cut down the dead trees for fall, winter. It's just their home. They find places to nest and home, and and then some birds, like raptors, they kick their birds off the branch like raptors. That's like all important for their process. And so, like, not only just not cutting down the dead trees, it's important, it's their home, it's their ecosystem, but also don't cut the branches off. Like, don't trim them, don't clean them, unless the branch is gonna fall, of course. But we do this thing in society where we cut them, and it's really counterintuitive to the seasons that the bird life, their homes, are in. So if we can hold back on cutting and trimming these routine, manicure polished trees during the fall and winter, it would be really beneficial for them, so they have homes and they have places to stay and be away from predators and just have a home. So yeah, it's really fun to learn about birds and hear their messages. It's just so beautiful. Even birds, like, they help us keep what's the word, like, sanity. They keep saying, like, sometimes if people go out to sea and they're out in the middle of the sea for a long time, people can kind of go into like a hysteria if they don't hear birds, because it's all part of the resonance being here on this planet. They help ground us, as well as like letting us know that we're here, we're safe, also, like, in this space and time. So it's really interesting how nature speaks to us.